Hey folks, so a bit of a garden update, and there's a bit of stuff growing on, a few failures, but that happens. What's going on over here? And I made a little bit of a stove, another one, because the gold washing, gold, it's the fever. Yeah, so I made a stove. That's right, and we actually camped out last night in the garden. My son's got the fever. So there'll be some more clips of that coming up at different points. I'm going to go out and do some more gold prospecting. That was super fun. But anyway, I'll get on with it. This is a garden update. Nice to be nice. Can anybody ID this? This is it's some sort of stone fruit tree. You can't eat it. The fruit is very hard, but it has a stone like like a peach. And flowers. Although they're not in brilliant flower now, look like this. My wife loved this plant, but it's right in where I'm going to trim it back anyway today a little bit, but I want to put my tomatoes in there. That needs a lot of light. It grows like buggery, and I promised I won't kill it, so I've got to hopefully propagate that next year. Have a smaller one somewhere else. These are potatoes I got in ground. Blaucent Gala, and there's just a few what were left there at the back, hiding there underneath the Swiss chard. That's coming down, it's going into flower. I'm just going to chop that today as well. That's that little bed round that plum tree, what I did last week. And what I've got to do now is the same here. Saved loads on strimming. And the maple. These are my potatoes in pots, right in the middle of the garden, but transportable. As you can see, it's got lots of grapes coming. I'm going to try and control it better this year, and so they just let it go wild like I usually do. We did make good jam, but they're not fantastic eaters, to be honest. In between these currants, this is a red one, and that's a black one. It's some rhubarb. I planted this last year, so it's ready. We can take some of that. Quite pleased. It's a bit overcrowded in there, but the currants will be getting cut well back this year, end of this year, due to the fact that I've got them other bushes there. In here, which were set, but unfortunately some of them have gone to flower, so I've just pulled them out and found space for these cucumbers. There's a couple in a couple of places. See which one takes off, and then if they both take off, I'll keep them. If one takes off and another doesn't, then I'll get rid of one that doesn't. But look, these onions are just coming in, putting flowers out, so we'll eat them. Another one there. So I've got some spaces to fill. I'm going to have to harvest this broccoli as well, which is good. Still picking off all these lettuces. Volunteer potato. Celeriac. Bulb celeriac. And these are kohlrabi. They don't seem to be, well, they're bulbing up, but we'll see how we go. Just going to pull the rest of these radishes out as well. Have them for his tea tonight with the onions. Quick salad. Again, still picking a tip. I'll show you this. This is my bamboo. It's from my neighbour. And it's shot a new shoot this year. I've got to find some place to put that, but I've got to keep it a little bit contained. Not huge, but some edible. We've been picking through them, so that'll be final harvest for that. The smaller ones might be a bit woody, but who cares? This is the sunberry. If you can see, it's got quite a few little fruits on. I've still had it under shade. That's a habanero pepper there, that's come out now. I've potted some of these tomatoes up, which are from Harver, which I almost killed. So hopefully I'll get some tomatoes. They look a bit pathetic and straggly, but that's the best I could do with them this year. Planted them too early and then took cuttings. Well, carrots have been a disaster. If you look, there's all those that came, no more. There's a few over that side which are planted rather thickly, but I've got to thin out.
But I'm in two minds what to do with that bed now, whether just to scrap it or even second planting, try second planting. Any thoughts? Let me know. The Yakon's doing okay. Did get a little bit burnt, but it did have, obviously, when I had it, I had shade cloth off the front, but some parts were very dark, but all tops and everything are alright, so quite pleased with that. It's just some lower leaves, so I'll probably pull them off if they start going really brown. As I said, this is where I'm going to put my corn if somebody comes. It's full of nasturtiums, but I'll leave them, they're ground cover. I'll just plant corn, and if they survive, they survive. They generally do all round edges, like, and they bring lots of bees in, obviously. It's all edible. Peas have got nose. Got some flowers on, which is a good thing. This mustard here has gone into flower, which I'm very pleased about. It'd be nice to save some seeds off it, but it's been attacked by slugs here, so I'm assuming it stressed it, and that's the reason. And that there is a little habanero pepper. Sneaked it in there, see what happens. The other Ruby Street mustard, it's not gone into flower like the other one. It was planted at the same time, but I think that's a bit stressed because the slugs keep getting at it. But it is very pretty. Look, it's quite large now. This, I think it was about 3-4 weeks ago that I planted these out. But I'll mention it again. Direct from grow room, and I cut them all off to maybe a couple of centimetres, just leaving growing tip in the middle, and they shot straight back without any burning or any problems. Just a few more red chicory and bits of lettuce what I put in. That's yeah, spinach. It's supposed to be, but it's all going into flower, but it doesn't matter. Radishes are coming on round here as well, and all these strawberries. Each plant, there's only 3, but each one's putting suckers out now, so really pleased with that. That's the pumpkin, which I'm hoping to get one big enough to carve. Mind you, it don't matter how big it is, I'll give it a go at carving it. These are the Norwegian monastery beans, doing fantastic, look lovely. I'm going to get these outside to harden off. Just, I don't want to keep them in here too long. They'll be going out today. These here are the corn. I've got about 8 starts out of 18 so far. So, which is interesting because I've never done corn like this before, so it gives me an idea what's going on in garden. Because I know a lot of it gets eaten by slugs, but I had sort of, well, 3 plantings last year, so I'm going to, what's got definitely no shows on this tray now, I'm going to just put some more seed in and see what comes, because I've got a spot, well, saved a spot for this, really. It should be out, it's out in fields now. And these are the Cherokee String of Tears, something like that anyway, what Jay sent me, thanks Jay for them. And the Yakon, by the way, put these in a couple of days ago, so these popped on 3rd day. So, but I put these in a couple of days ago and see what happens. I'm thinking I've run out of space. I might put them in some buckets. Anybody got any thoughts on that? Beans, bucket beans. I've got some 20-litre buckets. How many do you reckon in one? 5? I don't know. But I've got some more seeds of them, which I'm very thankful for. I've only got 10 of them, so I've got to really look after them. And I'll be saving seeds from them and sharing them if anybody needs any. Oh, and there's just a bit of basil. It's, again, a few days ago planted. That's not doing anything yet. Here's a little plant my wife brought me. She thought it might be interesting. Pepino. And it says on the back, I can read it, a new fruit, the pepino fruit, is high fructose and vitamin C content. Maxing it, low calorie food, it has a sweet taste, non-acidic, similar to a mixture of pear, peach and melon. It's a perennial non-hardy, requires sunny location, so it gets hanging growth apparently. So it might end up in a box on windowsill. I was just going to put it in potting it up now. I'm going to pot it into something else. I've got a bit of a queue coming on up here. Got some sage and stuff. And here's my ginger. I brought it back out and it started to go. That one I filmed last year. But I've got 2 new starts there. That's that pepino. Put it in there for a minute. And that's a blueberry. I've got to make a bed for that, and another one I've got. obviously make it a little bigger, so I'm going to get 4 or 5 in. Oh, this is that little tub that I planted up with herbs the other week, well, a couple of months ago probably. There were some herbs in it originally, but I just sort of added some other stuff to it. But it's filled out really nicely. And this still smells like soap. Soapwort, I found out. I was looking at Sean on Horticultural Society and he mentioned it, and I thought, haha, it could be that. And I had a look, and yes, there's a new addition, another maple tree. I got this from nursery. And I don't know whether it's got a bit burnt, it weren't quite as pale as this, but newer leaves are coming out nice. I've got a bit of a plan for this. You will see it, but not yet. Here's just for fun. It's a little tea lid stove I built after going on gold washing, or gold panning. I made that, it's a fold down, lightweight. Now I burnt it yesterday. I might put a video up, I've got to alter it slightly to make it better. And by that, all I've got to do is put some bigger holes in top here, and burn for about 20 minutes, and it boiled. I might just put a clip on it, and it boiled 2 cups of water in that in like less than 5 minutes, more than 2 cups. So I just lit it from the top. So that's a rolling boil, less than 5 minutes.